My name is Shannon Moore, one of the ministers here at University Christian Church. We are continuing our look at the book of Acts, Unstoppable, Unleashing the Holy Spirit. This week, we're going to be talking about chapters 16 through 20. And let me tell you, there's a lot that happens. Paul takes us on some grand adventures to some interesting places and introduces us to some interesting people. Of course, he is continuing his travels with his missionary partner Silas. And they are introduced to a young man who will also travel with them and help spread the gospel message, a young man named Timothy. They also will introduce us this week to a woman named Lydia, a dealer in purple fabric. She becomes a believer and even offers these evangelists a place to stay in her own home. We'll meet Priscilla and Aquila, who were tent makers, just like Paul. And they become good friends with him, great supporters of the gospel and of the way of Christ, and they themselves also will one day become church leaders, as we'll find out. There are some exciting adventures in these chapters this week. While in Thessalonica, Paul and Silas are thrown into jail, but an earthquake unleashes them from their shackles, and they have an interesting response to that. We also find Paul debating some philosophers in Athens, and then one of my favorite things about Acts is just throughout, there's some really funny little encounters that happen. In Ephesus, Paul asked the believers there, "Have you received the Holy Spirit?" And they say, "We didn't even know there was a Holy Spirit." So Paul helped them take care of that. But all in all, we discover that God did miraculous things through Paul. There were people healed and transformed their lives by the power of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Churches were strengthened in their faith. The number of believers grew daily because of our God in whom we live and move and have our being. So I want to invite you to take just a few minutes, just Monday through Friday, to read one chapter a day, chapters 16 through 20, to find out what happens next in this story of Acts. And maybe it'll affect your faith story and our shared story at University Christian Church.